folks, is a Warner Brothers television production.
Saturday morning cartoons, a nostalgic journey. Do you remember the magic of Saturday mornings in the 70s? Rolling out of bed, grabbing the biggest bowl of your favorite cereal, and racing to claim your spot in front of the TV? Those mornings weren't just a routine. They were the highlight of the week. The cartoon lineup was a blockbuster event filled with adventures, laughs, and superheroes that felt like they were made just for us. For a few precious hours, the outside world disappeared, and it was just you, your cereal, and a front row seat to animated bliss. Then, the golden age of Saturday morning cartoons. Back then, the shows felt endless, each one better than the last. My morning always started with a classic like The Tom and Jerry Show. There was something about those two that kept me glued to the screen, laughing at their wild chases. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Came next, solving mysteries and giving us all a reason to crave oversized sandwiches. The lineup. Saturday mornings in the 70s were like a never-ending parade of cartoons. Shows came and went throughout the decade, some sticking around for just a season or two, others becoming staples of childhood memories. The funny thing is, even if a show didn't last long, my memory holds onto it like it was a permanent part of my Saturday morning ritual. It all started bright and early with classics like The Tom and Jerry Show. No matter how many times I watched Tom's latest scheme blow up in his face, it never got old. And right after that, it was time for Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? With the gang solving mysteries that somehow always involved a guy in a mask. I remember thinking I'd totally be a great addition to their team, though I probably just wanted to hang out in the mystery machine. As the morning rolled on, shows like The Sylvester and Tweety Show and The Bugs Bunny Show kept me laughing. Those wisecracking Looney Tunes characters had a way of making even my dad laugh, which was no small feat. The Pink Panther Show came along with its smooth jazz and slapstick humor, giving off a vibe that felt both cool and timeless. And of course, the Woody Woodpecker Show brought the chaos with Woody's unforgettable laugh. The Adventure Block added a whole new layer to Saturday mornings. CBS hit it out of the park with Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, paired with The New Adventures of Batman in The Batman Tarzan Adventure Hour. Even now, I can hear Tarzan's iconic yell and see Batman's silhouette against the Gotham skyline. Shows like Janna of the Jungle and Return to the Planet of the Apes came and went quickly, but they made a big impression. Janna had this fearless energy, and Planet of the Apes was just so mysterious. It was like a puzzle you had to figure out. Then there was Star Trek, the animated series, which made me feel like a space explorer even though I didn't fully understand the science-y dialogue. Lassie's Rescue Rangers brought in a wholesome touch, reminding us that teamwork and a really smart dog could save the day. And right when you thought the lineup couldn't get more fun, the Brady Kids and Partridge Family 2200 AD brought familiar faces into animated adventures that were just a little bit silly, but totally enjoyable. Some of these shows were short-lived, like The New Adventures of Gilligan or Shazam, which shared the spotlight with the secrets of ISIS. I loved how ISIS broke the fourth wall, looking right at the camera like she was talking to me personally. And then there was Monster Squad, which mixed classic monsters with comedy. Or Macduff, the talking dog, where a crime-solving pooch made everything feel just a little more ridiculous. For the sci-fi fans, Space Academy and Jason of Star Command brought a galaxy of excitement to Saturday mornings. And who could forget Land of the Lost? Those dinosaurs and Sleestaks left an impression that's hard to shake, even after all these years. The Harlem Globetrotters popcorn machine wrapped things up with a mix of basketball tricks and laughs, proving that even sports could be a part of the fun. Each of these shows was like a snapshot of the decade. They might have come and gone, but my memory has a way of holding on to them all, even the ones that only stuck around for a season or two. In my mind, they're still all there, part of the endless Saturday morning lineup, waiting for me to grab a bowl of cereal and settle in for hours of animated magic. And the best part? No matter how much time has passed, they still feel like old friends. Hey there! If you're loving this trip back to the golden days of Saturday morning cartoons, hit that subscribe button. Your support helps keep the nostalgia alive and means the world to me. Thanks for being part of this journey. Board games and theme songs. When the cartoons were over, the board games came out. We'd pull out the Brady Bunch game or the Flintstones Bedrock game and play until lunchtime. My sister loved the Brady Bunch game and always insisted on being Marcia, while the rest of us argued over who got to move Fred Flintstone's car around the board. These games weren't just a way to pass the time, they were an extension of our favorite Saturday morning shows, bringing the characters and stories to life in our own living room. Another favorite was the Bugs Bunny game. It was pure Looney Tunes chaos in board game form, and no matter how many times we played, someone always ended up laughing so hard they couldn't roll the dice. Bugs, Daffy, and Porky Pig made it feel like a cartoon was unfolding right there on the table. For adventure fans, there was the Super Friends game. Teaming up with Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman to thwart villains made us feel like superheroes ourselves. The game had this magnetic pull. It didn't matter how many times you saved the day, it was just as exciting the next time. And then there was Scooby-Doo, Where Are You game. The best part was reenacting the mystery-solving antics of Scooby and the gang. We'd pretend to be on a spooky adventure, gathering clues and uncovering surprises as we went. It felt just like being in the show, minus the creepy music and actual monsters. These games weren't just cardboard and dice. They were an extension of our favorite cartoon worlds. Playing them felt like the fun didn't have to stop just because the TV was turned off. It was like we were creating our own Saturday morning magic long after the credits rolled. Theme songs were the heartbeat of these shows. From the Harlem Globetrotters to the Pink Panther, every theme song was a hook that stayed in your head for days. I don't think I'll ever forget the opening to Space Academy or the jazzy tunes of the Bugs Bunny show. Those songs were half the reason we watched. Lunchboxes and memories. One of my prized possessions was a lunchbox with the Brady kids on it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and for a while I traded sandwiches just to show it off. My best friend had one with the Partridge Family 2200 AD, and we'd argue over whose was better. These lunchboxes weren't just about carrying food, they were badges of honor. Now, the evolution of Saturday morning cartoons. Fast forward to today, and Saturday mornings look a lot different. Kids don't have to wait for the weekend anymore. Everything is on demand. Shows like Bluey and Paw Patrol are streamed endlessly, and the anticipation of circling shows in the TV guide is long gone. Some of the classics have been rebooted. Scooby-Doo still solves mysteries, and the Bugs Bunny show lives on in modern adaptations. But something's missing. Maybe it's the grainy animation or the communal experience of everyone watching the same shows at the same time. Saturday mornings weren't just about cartoons. They were about freedom, imagination, and the simple joy of being a kid. Whether you were laughing at Woody Woodpecker or pretending to be a superhero with Shazam, those mornings were pure magic. So what were your favorite Saturday morning cartoons? Let's relive those moments together. Drop your memories in the comments. Because even if the cartoons have changed, the nostalgia never fades.